you know, a lot of people say tourism is bad. Particularly, a lot of people say it sort of demeans the elephants. Uh, but in point of fact, it's very safe work. And I think one interesting result of tourism has been that the birth rate has gone way up. We're seeing more and more calves born in captivity. Because one very interesting aspect of elephants in the old days was pretty much everywhere in Asia, people discouraged breeding. They did not want their domesticated elephants to breed. And the reasons for this were twofold. One, there was a sort of psychological reason, and that is everywhere you go in Asia, people will tell you, oh, if you want a good, safe elephant, it has to be a wild elephant that you have broken, because they will always be afraid of man. But if you have a calf that was born with humans and raised with humans, it will know all about human ways and it will never really be afraid of humans. So that's the psychological reason not to breed elephants in captivity. But there's also an economic reason. When we talked to Kubayot, our great elephant man, he was saying you captured them at age 5, 6, 7 years. Why? Because that's 5 or 6 or 7 years where you don't have to have a man taking care of the elephant. So you've saved an awful lot of human work by capturing the elephant when it's all maybe halfway to maturity. Another reason not to breed elephants was also economic, and that is during pregnancy, which lasts 21 to 22 months, the last period of that, say at least the last 6 months and better the last year, the mother elephant should not be doing any work. And the first year, even better the second year when the calf is around, even better all 3 years that the calf is around, the mother should not be working. So if you're going to have a calf, it will take you, you will lose 2 or 3 years of work from your mother elephant. And then beyond that, your calf has to be 20 years old before it can do a very hard day's work, before it can drag logs in the forest. I mean, just imagine if you had to wait 20 years to do hard work with a horse, for example. Would the horse have played the same role it did in the evolution of European culture? I don't think so.
So,
Tourism at this point is good because it brings money to owners, and the owners are poor people. It's only us rich people that feel, oh, we have to take such careful care of these animals. And that's all very true, but to poor people, it's like, does it help me make a living? Does it help me feed my children? Does it give me the money to send my kids to school? Uh, so we need tourism so that people keep taking care of elephants. Tourism is good because the elephants don't have to work so hard. So the female elephants are not run down like they are when they're logging. Elephants in Burma, for example, are worked so hard that they don't come into estrus. They're essentially infertile. Almost like, say, women marathon runners. Their bodies are stressed so hard. So we're seeing a much higher birth rate, which is very nice. But the downside is that what happens when tourism goes. Tourism numbers are way down this year. Thailand will only have 11 million visitors as opposed to 16 million visitors. A very interesting example was during the SARS epidemic. Tourist numbers went in half, elephant prices went in half. As sad as it is to say it, we can say these days that the welfare of the elephant, the future of the elephant, depends more or less directly on the number of tourists visiting Thailand. And I think we're going to see this in more and more countries, Laos, Sri Lanka, because many of those countries there's no more logging.